All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to GWR Gonzo'S Wrestling Room, Monday, October 28, 2024. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Tony Gonzo'S, Marcus Fine, and Warren Misery. How's it going, guys?
It's going.
I was going to press my button over here, but I can't remember which button it was, and I was behind on the stuff, so we'll start it that way next week.
We'll get started with our independent wrestling report in just 1 second. I had a couple of things just real quick. A couple of prayers I want to go out. The first one, I want to go out to Ric Flair and his ex, Wendy Barlow. Her son and Rick's stepson, Sebastian Barlow, passed away Sunday, unfortunately, to suicide. I think he was only like 23 years old. I guess was a promising musician, and took his own life, unfortunately. So prayers to their family. Also, another one, Chris Bay of TNA Wrestling and the tag team ABC. He wrestled Saturday night pay-per-view, which was a really good match. May talk about that a little bit later if we have time. But on Sunday, he wrestled in a match and suffered a really severe injury and to his neck. Had to have emergency neck surgery today. They even stopped the show. I mean, the injury was so bad they had to stop the show completely. So prayers out to Chris Bay. Hopefully he'll make a full recovery and be able to come back to wrestling again. But it does sound like a pretty serious injury. Also, El Vikino, he also was injured during that Sunday taping too, and was stretchered out before that. He says will be okay. So, but just some prayers out to them, for wrestlers and their families. So let's go ahead and get going with our independent wrestling report, Marcus.
And Marcus, we had a comment on here said that you look tired.
We'll get to that here in a minute. I had another one that came up today. He wrestled as Dirty Dog on the independent scene here in Indiana. I don't know that I ever seen him, but he did hit a lot of the independents around here, and he was 46. He wasn't very old. And Diamond Dan posted it earlier, and I remember seeing him on flyers and stuff. I've probably seen him. I don't know. So we'll send out condolences to his family as well. So
yes.
No, I'm not tired. I'm pretty beat up from yesterday. Not only did that damn Brody Bodkins damn near drag me over the top of the commentating table, Kelly made me go home and boil my right head because I made contact with something yesterday.
Yeah, somebody rubbed it on my damn jacket. I've washed it 5 times. Get her laughing again. So
Warrior Pro was rough on me yesterday.
it was.
Anyway, Mr. Kraft's on there. What's he say?
You got 4-0 shit yesterday.
Oh, you ought to heard some of them kids. One of them kids were talking. It's like, there, get your own candy bitch or something like that. And the kid was like 12. We were over there laughing some of that stuff. I'm going to tell you something, Buck. Since
You
you're
know, I
on
said "oh shit" a couple times. I think I said "oh fuck" a couple
I
times
said
too.
that.
I said it too, but we had to have it muted because of
When Buck threw that damn briefcase off Hadley's head,
Yes.
I know I said "oh fuck." I remember
yep.
saying it.
Yep.
yeah, you saw it with us.
The briefcase bounced off Hadley's head, flying across the ring.
Yeah. It was
I
outstanding.
don't have to say
It was a super great entertaining show.
Yeah, we've commentated a lot, and that's probably in the top 3 of one of the funniest commentations we had ever done. I mean, we were rolling from the time we started rolling till, well, hell, we're still laughing about it.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a good day at Warrior Pro, so.
It was a very entertaining show. It had a good crowd, too, so hopefully that continues.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll try to hold this with my left hand. My right hand's in pretty bad shape, so. Okay, so you guys laugh, but you did deal.
On me going the other room.
We got it on. Anyhow, Friday night at the Dub, their big show, Freaky Friday, sold out. I'm pretty sure it was sold out by 7:00. The room was packed. I will say the ticket prices at the Dub did go up. Front rows are now $15, and general admission, everything else, and that didn't seem to stop anybody. They packed it in there. So, pretty good night. Hidari defeated Mike Noble to retain the WCW Gunslinger title. Kenneth James and Jordan James defeated Zach Nova and Juan Sanchez. Then that dirty Juan Sanchez, which we can call him that again,
Dirty
turned on
Sanchez.
Zach Nova, low blowed him, flipped off the fans, and off he went. So, Pogo won the trick-or-treat scramble that included Hammer, Scorpion, Cameron Cross, Timmy Jackson, Cruiser the Bullfrog, Hank Calgary, Cecil Cerveza, and Kelly's Hall of Fame King. So, Gabby Abbey won the trick-or-treat Battle Royal. Place went nuts on that one, too. Brody Balkins. Here we go. Brody Balkins defeated David Light and Maliko in a triple threat. Main event saw Jackson Morgan defeat Zay Gates in a casket match. Your new WCW Outlaw Champion, Jackson Morgan. Congratulations to him. I'd say my match of the night was the main event. I wish it went on a little longer, being a casket match, but them two did go. No, I think where the door was at. Oh, the table was at WPW. So the door was at WCWO, and they set it up between the ring and that guardrail over there on what I call Kevin's side, and crashed down through it. So they probably were about ready to end it because they both hit pretty hard on that. So good night. Then Kelly and I went over to Austin James's church in Kokomo on Saturday for the Fall Festival at the Victory Church of God. Saw Phoenix defeat the Water Boy. WCW Gunslinger Champion Hidari defeated the WCW Outlaw Champion Jackson Morgan in a non-title match. You ready for this? Zach Nova defeated Zay Gates. Brody Balkins defeated Mike Noble. No, I can't. That whole sentence is bad. That's got Mike Noble in it, too. Brody Balkins defeated Mike Noble. Main event, Joey Owens and Austin James defeated Johnny Blaze and TJ Powers. What do you say they had there? 80? 60, 80?
Where's that?
The church.
Church. Probably 65, 70.
So, yeah, not a bad turnout. And those are just casual people that just came over. They weren't normal wrestling fans. They just happened to be there for trunk or treat. So, but they got into it. The funny thing about that, you know how when a referee hits a 2 and then the guy kicks out and everybody says it's 3 and 3 and 3 and's arguing with the ref?
Yeah.
Well, Saturday they were hitting 2s on good guys and everybody's arguing. They told the ref it was only 1. It's like, I never see him ever go backwards. And it's like,
Poor Luigi.
yeah, Luigi had to ref all the matches because he was the referee there.
Luigi deserves it.
I'm going to hit the NGW results. I got these from Casey, ring announcer Casey. She writes them out a little different, so I got to look at this. Okay. In a number 1 contenders match for the Hoosier State title between Nick Moss, Bashley Bones, Christian Cash, and Kenneth James, Bashley Bones won that. So I guess now she's the number 1 contender for the Hoosier Weight title. Chris Gordon versus Rory Shields. Chris Gordon won that. So, you got two women on. Well, that's another thing. Anyhow. Miguel Murphy versus Zay Gates. Zay won that. So Zay finally won a match. He was 1-4, 1-3. He didn't have a good weekend. Tyler Scott and Cecil Cerveza versus Surf and Turf. That's the Blue Mako and Colby Jack. Okay, that's first I noticed that. And Surf and Turf won. And Mitchell Taylor versus Jason Levi in a lumberjack match. And Jason Levi won and repossessed his title because Mitchell Taylor has been in possession of that. So we thank Casey for that. All right. Top row was all at Danville yesterday.
Buck said they had 92.
Yeah, Buck, is that right? 92. Pretty full. Packed house. I'm telling you, we were. And you can ask Tony because I was over there. It's like I was getting irritated because at like a quarter till and there's like 10.
Yeah.
Like, this is bullshit. You hand out 400 flyers and this is all you get. But they're like a Baptist church. They all showed up late and people were still coming in like after the second match was going. So
you talked about the results from the church on Saturday. Did you and your buddy Mike Noble do any rapping there? I know there was a rap. Hey,
that guy was pretty good. To speak of that, right? No, because Mike Noble's fighting with Kelly all day, but because we went to the trunk or treat afterwards, and he showed up down there as the Miz, and he played the Miz very well, being an asshole he is. But he was arguing, he was fighting with Kelly all day. He didn't have time to rap with me, but I will say that rapper guy was pretty good. So it was a good time there at Danville. Yeah, there was a good time at Danville too. But it was a good time in Kokomo.
Well, and you know why the attendance suddenly spiked for Warrior Pro is because all the real fans watched the Lions go up 35-14 on Sunday, and they knew that game was over. They don't even bother with the Colts. So like, hey, let's go watch some wrestling because we know that the ratings draw would go to Warrior Pro, and so. That's why the attendance spiked.
You could say because you wasn't there. That's why the
They
attendance
actually
Or
came
it
to
could be
see
that-
me this time, Warren.
Or it could be that the Colts have a quarterback that don't even want to stay on the field for the whole game, so they don't watch Colts.
Kelly, we know that you went to go watch your favorite tag team.
Yeah, buddy.
Don't go there. Don't go there. We got a story to tell you, Warren, but we can't say it here.
No.
To the Kraft family, I see Dave asked you. I had personal wife things, anniversary stuff to tend to. Next month, though, I will be there.
Yeah, he didn't want to die. He had to go where his wife said, and he also got to be good to his wife because his wife's been good to him lately. So
Yes,
He finally made it to the Beef House too. It looked pretty good.
yeah, had great steak.
Yeah, well, if those prices they ought to be, but yeah, that place is fantastic. Okay, Buck says that they had 90 paid, so boy, 2 of those tickets come back, which is I don't get it. You hand out 400, you get 2. I don't understand why people don't want to watch wrestling, but 90 was pretty good. They were loud too.
it was a good crowd.
So all right, that's about Saturday. Anyway, we got to get back to Warrior Pro. Jared Crickby defeated Zay Gates. He is now the number 1 contender for the WPW heavyweight title. Okay, here we go. The match between Brody Botkins and the WPW Warrior Pride champion Cecil Cerveza was thrown out just minutes after it started when Brody manhandled the referee. Well, that's after he done damn near drove me across the table. And then all hell broke loose because now he's hitting him with the chair, and they dropped through a table, and it didn't break the table. It shattered the table. I didn't see it. Tony did. He said that shit was everywhere. It just blew
That table fucking exploded, and that's what I said on there exactly. It did. I mean, because he suplexed him from the ring onto that table out there on that cement floor. The one that Brody and
with that Samoan drop.
yeah,
Oh,
so Samoan. I said suplex. Yeah, Samoan drop. It was outstanding.
So, and I did get a piece of the table. Everybody thought I had a piece of pizza or a weird chip, but nope, it wasn't. Hey, Jordan Bell, good to see you.
Hey, Jordan.
In a funny match, Hammer coming out in full luscious locks which we found out later was not luscious locks. They were greasy and full of lies. But anyhow, he defeated Tyler Scott in the no DQ match when it
What's up,
involved
Jordan?
him paying off kids at ringside to take their shoes off and beat the shit out of Tyler Scott, which was
That's
funny
pretty
as hell
awesome.
because they're all there. He did that one girl, that's the Ruthless Domination super fan. I can't think of what her name is. She's there every month. She went in there and started beating on him like it was
Oh, she was beating the hell out of him with
Yes,
that
she
shoe.
was.
Junior's wife, Deborah. Like, she just wailed on him. It's like the ref had to grab a hold of her, like, okay, you can't take anymore. It's like he was really letting him have it. And then he hit her. Oh, you'll get the humor to this, Warren. They dumped. Hammer came out with a pumpkin bucket full of candy miniatures, and dumped them on the ground. And then, of course, he smacked Tyler with the bucket, but then he kept suplexing him into these candies. It kind of reminded me of Jeffersonville, except it's candy this time, but not pencil erasers. But it was funny. That was a funny match. We were laughing our asses off about that.
Hey, Marcus David Kraft said the little girl's name is Mallory.
Mallory. Okay, yes.
Good job, Mallory. Good
Yeah,
job.
she's the super fan of Ruthless Domination. She all over hit the hell out of it. I mean, she's just wailing on him. It's like, okay, the Agents of Chaos. I know Tank's one of them. What's the other guy's name? Chris, do you remember?
Knight. I know the last name's Knight. I think it's David Knight.
I think so.
That
Okay.
sounds right.
Agents of Chaos. Agents defeated T.Y. Ice and Miguel Murphy. They are still the tag team champs. Upset of the night, Joe Jitsu defeated the Buck Sexton. President Scorpion, the new President Scorpion, defeated the former president, Jeremy Hadley. They had the election. Sadly, Jeremy
Hadley
Hadley
got screwed.
And President Scorpion, what the hell happened in here? Hang on a minute. President Scorpion defeated President Hadley when the Buck Sexton come out in his Ken Barbie outfit, took
Ken Barbie outfit.
Jeremy Hadley's briefcase, swung it at Scorpion. He ducked, and I'm telling you, I'm surprised Jeremy Hadley didn't bust his nose. That thing just plowed his face. And then Hadley got pissed off at Buck, and Buck retaliated, and Hadley ran for the hills. So, main event, JB defeated IK3 to retain his WPW heavyweight title, and then Jared Kripke attacked him afterwards. So,
and who come out to save Jeremy Hadley was Buck at the end of the show.
Save Hadley.
no, yeah, that match there to save Buck. Well, to help Hadley, it was the.
You said who came out to save Hadley?
Yeah, I said Hadley. Sorry,
Well, that was the match before.
I'm
Yeah.
getting Hadley and JB.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
JB. I apologize, JB, for getting you confused with Hadley. That's really bad. Sorry about that.
Well, we'll go back to that Scorpion Hadley match. Agents of Chaos did come out to beat down on Scorpion, and then Ruthless come out and, well, anyhow, all hell broke loose there for a while. So
Well, they was beating on Buck at one
yeah,
point.
maybe that's it. See, I got so damn confused. I think I
Yeah,
had.
they was beating on
Yeah.
Buck, and they come out and
Buck came out to help JB, and then Agents of Chaos came out, was beating on Buck. Ruthless Domination
No,
came
maybe
out.
that's what it was.
It was all.
It was a very chaotic show. It was a very good show. Super entertaining. Really enjoyed it. My match of the night was the Scorpion and Hadley match. That was my favorite match of the night. But it was all good.
Main event was mine, probably.
It was very good too.
Mine was Dinner at the Beef House.
My main event my main match for Kokomo was Zach Nova and Zay Gates, and then Jackson Morgan and Zay Gates in the Outlaw at the casket match. Oh, and then I need a shout out. Referee Alex, WCW's referee Alex, goes by Alexander, made his debut yesterday. Cannonball Alex Xander against Jackson Morgan. I guess he had a pretty good showing. Now, of course, he didn't beat Jackson Morgan, and he had the bio scars to show it. But I want to shout out to Alex for your debut And I'm going to throw a jab up north. Are you guys glad you let him go now? And anybody knows what I'm talking about. Those 3 kids are on fire. And egos up north got in the way. And we got the kids down here, and they're on fire. So are you sorry you let them go up there north, guys?
Marcus firing shots.
Well, I have to, because that was bullshit. They were being held back so bad up there that Joey and Mikey King give them the shot that they needed. And look, Zach beat Zay. Zach's got a pinfall on IK3. Juan's got a pinfall on IK3. Alex just took on Jackson Morgan in his first match. I mean, those guys are on fire.
Awesome.
So
Speaking of IK3, he keeps getting screwed out of the Warrior Pro title.
yeah, I was confused too, because me and Chris looked at each other. The only way we knew that match was over is because he raised his hand. I didn't see the 3 count go down.
He hit. The ref hit 1 over at the side, and then 2,
Okay.
3 up by where they were at.
Okay.
So that's why everybody was confused.
Oh, when I talked to Buck briefly, shout out to the new referee at Warrior Pro. That guy was not saying anything about the other guy. He does a good job too, but the new guy, I guess Cecil brought him over with him.
Okay.
Outstanding job. Them referees were on fire. They were doing really well.
And then the big shocker the other big shocker match was Joe Zitsu getting that huge upset victory over Buck. I mean,
Go Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
I offered him a piece of pizza earlier, but he has no mouth, so he didn't take it. So
no mouth.
Joe Jiu-Jitsu doesn't eat with his mouth; he eats mentally.
I thought he was going a completely different area.
Oh, fuck.
I thought we was in deep trouble.
I don't think we're not going that direction.
Okay, we'll check. Are we done with the independent roster report?
and Scorpion sold popcorn and sodas at the snack bar.
And
During
Hadley
intermission.
tried to
Hadley
sell
tried to
protein
$10
bars.
protein bars. But nobody want those.
Marcus, I'm just glad you're okay after the attack by Brody. You know,
I don't know that I am okay. I may have to go to the doctor tomorrow. So
If you haven't seen the attack, go check it out
Yes.
on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room and watch yesterday's Warrior Pro Wrestling 37.
And me and Chris didn't laugh at all, did we?
No, we were worried about Marcus. We were checking on him.
Yeah.
and do you mind if I do a co-worker, a fellow podcaster? You
Go
all right
ahead.
with that?
Yeah.
Skyconic, Victoria from Skyconic also filmed it from her side of over there on the other side, so you see it from a different angle. So shout out to Victoria and the good work she does as well.
well, hopefully, you know, if we have to go to court with this, Marcus,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of tape to present. So
I got them from 2 different angles. So
yeah,
and I still got the shirt, and I think it still has the DNA on there. So
Well, just so you know, I'm not testifying because I'm scared of Brody.
Chris was trying to get me and Tony to go in a hardcore or
That's how I think we should solve this problem, Ward. Let's see what you think. Handicap match, Marcus and Tony against Brody.
Bullshit.
be like the early Andre the matches when
well,
he
it'll
did
be
it.
like,
Ward could be the manager.
well, it was.
I'll
It's like,
film it and do commentary.
It'd be like Bundy. Be like Bundy doing what he did to Sky Low Low. I'll be Sky Low Low.
no, it'd be like in the Mad Max movies. Like Tony would be on Marcus's back and like, get down, get him.
I kind of like the Skylo Low thing because I'm laughing.
Yep.
We could do Tony could shoot off of Marcus's shoulders and do a little splash and.
See, we can make it work.
Yeah, sure. You get in the ring. We'll make it a three-way. And you're starting.
I'm
Tagging in.
I'm getting in the ring at FEW against Cody. Remember
Oh,
we
yeah,
decided
that's
that.
fair.
We decided that the last
Yeah,
show.
that's fucking fair. I get Brody and you get Cody.
I think that's
Or Cinco or whatever his name is.
yeah, against Cinco. I mean, I think that's an awesome deal.
Marcus is cracking up.
Hang on a minute. Kelly's got.
I think it should be Marcus and Chris and Tony refs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll wrap that.
Oh yeah, you'll ref that, but you won't ref the midget match. I don't understand this.
They'd get confused. They think he's part of the match.
Yeah. Don't attack me. Not taking no chances.
Just like commentary yesterday, we went off tangent again. But
Okay. Well,
yeah,
let's
the
move
whole
on
weekend
to-
was fantastic. Yesterday was great commentating. I mean, I watched it back and I've been here laughing, and it's like, damn, we're spot on yesterday. Not to toot my own horn, but and you guys', but God, were we funny.
It was fun. We had a lot of fun yesterday. Let's move on. I'm just talking a little bit about NXT Bound for Glory, and also real quick, we'll try to give our predictions for the big pay-per-view Crown Jewel coming up this weekend. Bound for Glory, just real quick. Match of the night for me was Masha Slamovich beating Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts Championship. That's one of the better women's matches I've seen this year. It was outstanding. Nick Nemeth beat Joe Hendry with kind of the help of JBL coming in and disrupting the match. I'm not sure, man. I think I would have put the belt on Henry, but they didn't choose to at this point. The Hardys won the Metal Mayhem ladder match against ABC and the System, and to become new TNA Tag Team Champions. Pretty good match. So that's update on the Bound for Glory. NXT Halloween Havoc. Marcus, did you get a chance to check it out?
No, I didn't get to watch it. It's been a busy time.
Okay. I don't know if I don't doubt if any of you guys did. I'll just kind of go
I
over
haven't
the
watched
results.
it.
Go over the results.
I scanned through it.
Okay. I'll go over the results real quick. The two matches that stood out for me was the first one, North American Championship with Tony D'Angelo. He beat Obafemi. I did see a report saying Obafemi could be on the main roster starting tonight as a possibility, but he is heading to the main roster. And like I said, it could be actually tonight on Raw. So, but it was a tables, ladders, and scares match. The only thing that threw me off about that, I thought it was going to be where they hang the belt up. They didn't do that. It was a pinfall or submission only match. But it was a very physical match. It was pretty good. Also, probably my favorite match of the night was the women's tag team match. Julia and Stephanie Vaquer beat Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, with Stephanie Vaquer getting the pinfall over the champion, Roxanne Perez. Them four women, man, they're the future of women's wrestling. It was very good. Ridge Holland beat Andre Chase in an ambulance match. Fallon Henry won a gauntlet match to become the new women's North American champion over Kalani Jordan.
Can I say something about that?
Yes.
Anyone really care about a women's North American match? That just seemed to be a very. It's like they just wanted to have a second title for the women. Like, I don't. It seemed very flat. The crowd didn't seem to really care.
The main part there, I think, was to bring in the new woman that showed up, Zarya. But I know what you're saying. I think they went to that women's championship because they got so many women, and they needed another level. But I think that's why they did that. Also, Trick Williams beat Ethan Page in the Devil's Playground match. Decent match. Also, looks like we're going to be getting on I believe it's the 6th of November. NXT is going to be going head-to-head with AEW, and they're going to be at the former ECW arena. And it's going to be, looks like it's going to be a tag team match with Bubba. Can't think of his last name right now.
Bubba
Ray Dudley and Trick Williams. Looks like they're going to be taking on Ridge Holland and Ethan Page. I had a brain fart, sorry. And the Zarya debut, she come from Australia. She looks really impressive. I think it's going to be interesting. She does the F5 as her finisher. She's very impressive. So looked pretty good. So decent show. A lot of storyline driven, but a decent show. Next up, we got we'll do our predictions for the Crown Jewel coming up on Saturday. Okay, guys, women's tag team championship fatal 4-way. Cargill and Belair, the champions, against Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. And I did hear that Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are now on the main roster. They're not going back to NXT. So, Warren, who you got in that match?
I mean, I don't. I'm guessing they're going to keep the belts on Cargill and Belair. I don't. It's just one of those ones that, once again, it's sort of like I feel like with the North American women's title. Like, does this? I mean, they don't showcase it enough to get me to have any kind of feels.
The women's, they've been featuring quite a bit the the last month or so, just like the men's tag team. They're making an effort. Let's say that. I see what you're saying about the North American title. They do show it a lot on NXT, though. I think they're trying to, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Kairi Sane and Io Sky. I think they're gonna take the belts off them and start the fracture with Belair and Cargill. So, what do you think, Marcus?
Honestly, I have no interest in this match at all. I'm going to just keep them on the champs. I mean,
Okay.
I'm like Warren. It's like, whoopee. It's like,
What do you think, Chris?
I'll go with Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green and Piper Niven?
Yep.
Okay. Next up, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I'm going with Owens.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Owens as well. I don't think it really. I don't think it really does a whole lot for either one of them. I mean, it really don't matter who wins.
I think we're gonna get
Owens.
Owens.
I think it does a little bit more for Owens with the win over Orton than it does Orton getting a win over Owens.
yeah, I'm going Orton. I'm going to go against all of you.
Okay. Next up, it's an interesting one. Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed.
Damn. It's hard to call that one.
I think Bronson needs it. I think Bronson needs it.
Yeah,
Bronson needs it, but you don't want to degrade Seth either. I don't know how to go about that. That's going to be a good match.
I think that if you have Bronson beat him and then you have another match and Seth beats him, I think it means more for Bronson to get the win right now.
The way they've been building Bronson up, to me, it don't make no sense at all for him to lose to Rollins. I think you have to keep his path of destruction going if you want to keep.
The only way I would see that then is a disqualification. You know how they pull those, like if the guy wins, but then he still continues to do his finisher or to keep the submission hold on to where then the ref reverses the decision to where maybe he does something and he, like say, he does a tsunami on Rollins, gets the win, but then he wants to continue to do it on him and the ref reverses it to disqualify Bronson Reed and make Seth the guy that's going to keep on ticking and they're going to get into a gimmick match coming up or something.
I would like to see Bronson Reed win it, honestly. You're right, he's on fire. But
okay, next up we'll have LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade in a triple threat for the United States Championship, which LA Knight is the champion.
has anybody been impressed with LA Knight since he's become the champion? In fact, I forgot he was even champion until me and Tony talked about it Sunday.
It's been okay. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Carmelo Hayes.
Who's the other one? The third one?
Andrade.
Well, that's who I'll go with. Andrade.
What do you think, Chris?
Is Andrade and Charlotte still married?
Yes.
Then they're going to give it to Andrade.
What do you think, Chris?
I'm gonna go Carmelo Hayes.
We all think there's going to be a title change. Okay.
Well, everybody was happy with LA Knight win that title, and then it's like he got it. Like, well, whoopie doo, he ate.
Somebody censored Marcus.
Like, okay, that didn't make sense.
I think called X a censor now.
Well, I want to. I want them to know that I see them over there. I see them, but they have yet to let Ricky Gunn speak for himself and answer my single question. If they're going to allow him to be himself on the November 11th show, they're going to let him come on. So call the X until you let him go and you let that out there. You guys just stay over there in the chat.
Warren, did you hear the bullshit I did on Saturday night?
No.
At the trunk or treat for WCWO, guess who I was at the trunk or treat at WCWO? Spearmint X. I tried to get Kelly to be Tanner Kelly, but she wouldn't do it.
No one wants to be Tanner Kelly for Halloween.
Well, she didn't. She said, no, I ain't doing that. It's like.
Well, I don't think I quite put it like that.
Oh, well, we want to make it more.
Getting in trouble with my guys. They put words in my
My
mouth.
question is, Marcus, if you're so against Called X, why are you dressing up as one of the Called X members?
Pablo, stop.
Can you look at how big I am? And I don't have a vast array of.
Don't want him to be Tanner Kelly.
Maybe I should have been Brody Bockets. Maybe that's what pissed him off. I could have come running through the parking lot. Who's the man? Who's the man? Anyhow, shout out to Cameron.
I wonder why Marcus wanted Kelly go as a turd with teeth. Was what I didn't know.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Well, anyway, shout out to Spearman X. We talked Saturday or Friday night, and he gave the blessing to use the mask, and it was a good time. So
Tanner Kelly can't go trick or treating because when he walks across the street, if he turns sideways over the sewage vents, he might fall through.
see, now Cold X keeps saying I came home, but that is far from truth.
Marcus, something you want to tell? You got a confession?
Okay. You want to go on a little further? Later on in the night, I took the mask off, took all I could do, get that top button, and then I was Dirty Juan Sanchez there for a while. So
He was.
yeah, it's hard, Warren. It's yep, I was. Anyway, there we got it again. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, next up we have Roman Reigns, Jay and Jimmy Uso versus the New Bloodline in a 6-man tag.
I'm going to go Roman and company. Okay.
Cooter wants the
Yeah, Chris.
link again.
On his own Facebook account. Can you do that?
Oh,
I'll say to
I'm going with the New Bloodline.
what's his? Do you guys know what his old Facebook account is?
I'm going the other one. I'm not going the New Bloodline. I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, oh man, I don't know because this came to mind. My theory with what's going on with all this. I know everyone is basically writing Sammy in as they're going to bring him in. I would not be shocked if it's not Sammy, but Braun Breaker. Because they had that little face-off with Jacob Fatu. They're trying to get him face. I pull a swerve on the crowd. Everyone thinks Sammy's going to come. But, I mean, they really haven't done anything yet to fully punctuate that. So...
Chris, if I forward my link to him, can he use it?
Yes.
All right.
What do you think, Chris? The old bloodline or the new bloodline?
Old bloodline.
Old bloodline.
But Marcus, we're getting ready to have Crow on right now as well.
Well, we do Crow, and then we'll end it. We'll do Crow. We got 2 more things here. We'll do Crow, and then we'll do
Cooter if he can get it going.
Yeah, if he can get it going. Yeah, that'll be the plan.
That'll work.
Nia Jax and Liv Morgan.
There you go, Coot. You should have it. Nia Jackson, Liv. Oh, shit.
I'm going with Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I am too because I hate Nia Jax. I just don't want her to win against anybody. I mean, you could put her in there with Mike Noble, and I'd still. Well, I don't know the end of
That'd be tough. I'd root for Nia. And I think Nia would kick his ass.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not to get too overly political, but I mean, with the way they are with the female wrestling over there, I would think that they would do something and then tease a cash in by Stratton, but I don't know how. So it might just be. I think Nia Jackson needs to come out and crush her.
What do you think, Chris?
I'm gonna say Nia Jax.
Okay, my last one is Cody Rhodes and Gunther. I'm going with Gunther winning because Kevin Owens is going to cost Cody Rhodes.
I'm gonna go with they're just gonna throw the match out. No winner.
There got to be a winner.
You have to have a winner.
Yeah, they said there has to be a winner. What they're claiming.
I'm going Gunther.
What do you think, Chris?
I wonder what that stank was.
I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes.
We got 2 Gunthers and 1 Cody Rhodes. Okay, Warren, what's it going to be?
Rhodes.
Okay, 2 Rhodes, 2 Gunthers. Okay, guys, you guys want to go ahead and we'll bring in Scarecrow.
We'll bring in Scarecrow first. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do Scarecrow first, and because that was the plan at 7:15. Then we'll bring Cooter in afterwards.
All right.
All right. How's it going, Scarecrow?
Hey.
Well, do you feel any different being a retired wrestler now?
Not yet, man. It hasn't hit yet.
When do you think it will hit? You think it'll be when you're the next FEW show, or I mean, I know it was one you did regular. I don't know. I'm sure you did other shows too, but that was a regular one for you. You think that's the one to hit when it comes that time for that next show?
Yeah, probably. I know this past week I've just been going back and watching my match over and over and over again because it's just having my daughter involved, having my best friend in the match, having Cooter in the match because we go way back. And just that match was everything to me, and it came out the way I wanted it.
Good. It was awesome. It was an awesome match. Definitely enjoyed it. Marcus, we'll let you go first.
Okay. Most of the stuff I asked Cooter, asked Scarecrow, I already know, so it's more for you guys. I don't know if you guys knew that Scarecrow was trained by a micro. Was you guys aware of that?
Really?
No.
Yeah. One of the guys that actually wrestled at the Microtorium in Pigeon Forge and scanned the area several times, trained Scarecrow. So go ahead, Eddie, let him know.
Yeah, I was trained by Hank Dalton. Went also by Mr. Big. And I got to have a match with him. I'm thankful for that too. But I was trained by him when I first started, and Ox Harley helped. And so yeah, mainly Ox Harley was on the hardcore side, and which I didn't do a whole lot. And then Hank taught me a lot of stuff. I'm still learning too, so.
And sadly, Hank is no longer with us. We lost him a year and a half ago, maybe. So.
Yeah, I was at work when I found out what happened, and I wasn't gonna wrestle that night, but something told me to go to WCWO, and I did. And I came out to his song, wearing a cowboy hat, with his little horsey that he used to come out with. Yeah, it was a tough night, but I still won.
Okay, my first question is something people would be surprised to know about you.
Yeah. Wow. I'm a cat lover, animal lover. Shoot, I don't know. There's probably a lot of things.
Okay, Warren.
What would Scarecrow of now go back in time and tell young new Scarecrow if he could?
I don't know. I've always stayed humble to the business. I don't know. It's probably like I said, I didn't get into this to make a contract or make money. So I don't know what I would say to myself back in 2005.
Okay, Chris.
What's been the biggest difference in the wrestling business from when you started in 2005 to now? What's maybe one of the biggest changes you've seen over your time, the time that you've been in the business?
A lot of things, mainly too many spots during a match. Cause I mean, yeah, you want to get the crowd over, and you want to get your match over, but there's just way too many spots. To me, I'm old school, so I want to feed off the crowd, and I want to tell a story while I wrestle. That's the old school in me. I mean,
Marcus?
Okay, when and how did you get interested in the sport?
Probably when I was a little kid. I remember sitting watching WCW because I've always been a WCW guy. Never liked WWE, and I was watching Sting wrestle Hogan, and I said, "That's what I want to do." And my cousin looked at me and said, "You ain't gonna last 2 years." So when I moved to Indiana, once after I got out of school and stuff, a buddy of mine, Donnie Idol, got me into it, and I was only gonna do it for 2 years just to prove my cousin a point. But then, obviously, I stuck around.
Okay, what will you miss the most about competing in pro wrestling? And also, if there is something that you won't miss.
The crowds, the sound of the crowd is what I'm gonna miss the most. That's what kept me going was the crowds. And what was the second part of the question? What I'm not gonna miss?
Yeah, is there anything that you won't miss about it?
Travel. I mean, I like travel, but man, I live so far away. It's getting up, getting my stuff ready, getting in my car, driving 2-3 hours. And I didn't charge that much, but is travel I'm not gonna miss. I don't know. I might. We'll see.
I think
My
you're-
turn?
Yeah, Warren.
Okay. Is there any particular like bump that you've taken that you took it the one time, you're like never again?
Yeah. I took the swanton off the top rope back in 2008 or 2009. I can't remember. That was going to be my finisher, and I thought I broke my neck, and it would happen to be against Cooter. And when I landed, everything went dark. I couldn't see. I had to have the ref help me get to my tag partner so I could tag out, just so I can gain composure. I thought I was done.
Chris?
Well, before we get to my question,
Uh-oh.
we have a question from Kelly Fine. She wants to know who your favorite super fan is, Kelly or Marcus.
Oh my God. I love you both. I love you both, but I've known Marcus for a while, so
Oh, I got one. I got one. I got one.
I knew
he
it.
just follow me. Sorry, Kelly.
That's okay. I still love you.
Marcus got to get Score's got to get a nut every now and then. Yeah.
Oh, what I was going to ask you is, do you have a favorite opponent that you faced over the years?
Man, there's so many. I'd probably there's Cooters in one of them. Cooters one of them. TJ Powers is another. He was my number one for a long time, and then I'd probably have to say JKO
Wow.
as one guy. When I got in the business, I would watch him, and I was like, man, I want to work him one day. And I finally got to wrestle Joey Kid Owens at DCCW as a return, and we killed it.
I bet I like to see that.
Yep, I would have too. Marcus?
Coldex, go ahead and throw your question on there. We'll ask it. I think I probably know this too. Where and when against who was your first match?
My first match was against Donnie Idol at HPW. I actually won that one too.
So I wonder if that was the one I took a picture of.
I have no idea.
I know, but I may have been there.
Yeah.
Your favorite independent wrestler to watch?
Holy crap. Probably because I've been watching him since he started, and there'd be two that really stick out to me. Well, three. Um, I'd have to say Zay Gates, uh, top-notch athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Adari, and Ricky Guns. He's coming out of nowhere, so I have to give Ricky Guns his props.
I agree with all
Kid
those.
always shows up. Kid shows up and does the work. He deserves it.
I can hear now his head just 3 times bigger, guys. I heard Ricky's head just get 3 times bigger. he got the promo from Crow. Boom, it's going.
Warren?
You said you followed WCW back in the day. Was there a particular guy that, like, you said you weren't in it for the fame and fortune, for the fun. Was there a particular guy back then you would have loved to have wrestled?
Sting, obviously, but I got to meet him a few years ago, so I don't know. There's too many. I don't know. Maybe Conan,
Oh, there you go.
Conan was a fun one. I like watching him.
Rey Mysterio Jr., DDP. I can keep going.
Over your years in the business, did you get any opportunities to work with any of the names or like former guys like that have been on TV?
I've shared the ring with Eugene before. He actually shaved my head bald back in HBW. I've got to share a ring with Shane Douglas. Been in the locker rooms with Rikishi, Tommy Dreamer. I didn't get to work any of them, but I shared a lot of locker rooms with a lot of stars of yesterday and today.
Hey, Marcus.
Okay, let's see. Well, now that you are retired, I know some talk has been going. Where are you going to go from here?
My goal is to be a producer, backstage agent, and help create stories and help train new students, which I'm already a part of with Battle on the Border out in Aurora, Indiana. They do shows in in the Indiana, Ohio area. I'm an assistant trainer out there, so but my main goal is to go to other promotions and help with what I can. And I'm already in talks with a promotion right now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we came to an agreement, so hopefully soon.
Favorite moment in your career? And if you got more than one, that's fine.
Man, probably when I first won my heavyweight title, that was with Cooter, or against Cooter. They ribbed me, and I was put over. And then probably when I went to IPW and I became the first heavyweight champion there, and my whole family got in the ring. My dad, my daughter. I don't just I got to wrestle in my hometown of Joliet, Illinois, and probably most recently my favorite moment of all time is my daughter Rain getting in the ring and doing my finisher with me last week.
Warren?
That's something I'll never forget.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been in this scene for just a little over a year, so I'm slowly building things. But I do want to say that seeing your character is one of the more original ones I've seen around here. So can you explain a little bit of like how Scarecrow evolved from the beginnings to like, was there something particular behind it? Was it just something that you ran with? How did it come about?
Well, when I started in wrestling, I started out as Fast Eddie Felson, and I did that till like 2014. And then one day Cooter came up to me and was like, hey, why don't we start painting our faces and form this group? So we formed a JWO group, which is Juggalo World Order. So we got permission with Psychopathic to use that. We just could not sell any merch whatsoever because it's licensed.
Yeah.
And so I decided to paint my face like my favorite independent rapper, Boondocks.
Okay.
And so Flash Flanagan, which was the booker for HPW, like we ran with a couple months of it and then just dropped it. And he looked at me and he's like, no, I want to keep you a Scarecrow because I want to see where this goes. And my career just shot up after that. And it because of Cooter and Flash Flanagan, Scarecrow would have never evolved.
Long time ago, I had a Boondock CD. I don't remember what happened to it, but that's where I sort of took my last name is from Misery. I know he isn't really with all them anymore, but that's where I sort of pulled that from.
Yeah.
So I can see
that's
that
how.
Now with the makeup.
That's how the Scarecrow came with the name. Because before I was just going by Scarecrow Eddie Felson, and then eventually I dropped Eddie Felson because I wanted to step away from that Fast Eddie gimmick.
Chris?
But it all came from Boondock.
You go ahead.
Okay, Marcus.
Go to the next one.
Okay, you mentioned your daughter. Is she training to be the next Scarecrow?
She probably will start her training in January with Battle on the Border. And then whenever I go to the promotions that I'm working behind the scenes with, I'm going to help train her there too. Get her in the ring and work on her. She's learning. I mean, she can lock up better than half the people I've seen.
Awesome. Funniest person you've been around in a wrestling locker room?
Yeah. Cooter. Cooter, Big Country. I mean, fuck, man. Too bad. Pardon my French.
Oh,
No,
you're fine.
You're fine.
I didn't know how you guys kept it PG or not.
No, you're fine. You can basically say whatever you want.
And let it fly.
Okay, the Warren, excuse me.
I'm going to give you a ticket to any match at any time that ever happened. Where in this front row, what match would you want to go see in person? Front row.
See, I really don't go to the big shows. I usually, no, I'm on the phone. He knows I'm on the phone. I don't know. It had to be a WWE event because I like how everything's going now that who's gone and Hall effect Triple H is taking over. It'd just be a WWE event. Anyone with Jason Ayers as the ref.
Is there any chance that we'll see Scarecrow back in the ring at any point?
I never say never. Like I said, you never say never in this business, and I don't want my retirement to be tainted or tarnished. And if anybody does taint it and tarnish it, there will be hell to pay. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. So if I have to, I will, but never say never.
Marcus?
Oh, jeez. What's your worst injury taken in battle in wrestling?
My ankle, I tore it up in the middle of a match at HPW. It was like a 6-man battle. IK3 was actually in that match, but he wasn't going by IK3. He was going by Jonathan Owens. or Jonathan Wolf, and he went to go do a suicide dive over the top rope, and one of the guys, when we went to go catch him, one of the guys landed on my foot with his knee, and I went this way, and he went that way, and I felt something pop, and I couldn't even finish the match. I couldn't even stand. So I ended up getting carried into the locker room, and I sat in the back for a little bit. And then I was going to go out and sign autographs, but at the time, I was forced to go to the emergency room. So I got my pay and went to the emergency room with my face paint on. And I was giving autographs out to the nurses and shit. And then they ended up putting a boot on my foot and said, "Yeah, your big toe, your ankle, everything, you're broken down there." I'm like, "Damn." I still showed up next month at wrestling. So
Okay, this is going to be our last round. I am next. Let me see. My question is: best wrestling match you've seen live, big time or independent?
And then there too, so that works. I was on my list too. So
and I probably have to say this past Sunday, Storm Garcion, her match.
Okay.
She's a top star that everybody's got to watch out for.
That's right.
And that was my favorite match of the night. So I enjoy watching her grow as a wrestler.
I agree with
Super proud of her.
that.
And
She's come a long way.
Yeah, and I told her that in front of the crowd on the microphone. I didn't put myself over. I put the young folks over, and I put her over. And that's like, I'm damn proud of you. I am.
Okay, Warren.
I wanted to say one thing here before I do get to my easy question for you. I don't know if you recall, but it was probably about a year ago. We shared a locker room down at TCW, and I was actually managing one of my guys. And you were absolutely super cool, awesome to talk to down there. Made things a lot easier on life, and I appreciate that. But back to WCW, red and yellow Hogan or Hollywood Hogan?
I mean, my favorite colors are black and white. So, but I'm also and the red too. I probably go with NWO Hogan.
Do you have anything? Okay, Marcus, I'm going to give you the last question.
oh, geez. I don't know that I have any more. Tell us about Memphis.
Huh?
Graceland, Memphis. You got to tell what's down there. Hopefully, it's still down there.
Listen, I'm wearing my Graceland hat right now. I'd love to go back down there. But when we went down there, like a year and a half ago, or I can't remember. But we went straight to the brick wall, and your name was the first thing I wrote up on there. I didn't even put my name up there first, but and then we went back like 3 or 4 weeks later and wrote your name again with mine and my family's. But it's a beautiful home. I got to see, and that was on my bucket list, was to go to Graceland, and I finally got to do it. Like, if you can tell, I'm a big Elvis fan.
Yeah.
I can't get my all that.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of my Elvis stuff came from a big fan of mine that, well, 2 fans of mine, their father passed away, and they, I still talk to them. They're like my kids, but they said this is something my dad would want you to have, and gave me all his Elvis stuff.
Oh, man.
It's cool.
Yeah,
But,
I was
yeah,
honored when you
Graceland's
done that 'cause you didn't tell me you was doing it. You just sent me a picture. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like my name's
Yeah.
on the Graceland wall. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and I did that because, you followed me for so long. That was my appreciation to you. And it's just being there. Just my dad, he's the reason why I like Elvis. and I listened to Elvis. And when I sat there, was walking down the Elvis Presley Boulevard at like 10 o'clock at night, looking at the house, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, it's because of my dad. And I had tears coming out my eyes because I was so happy to be there. Because if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't know Elvis.
Mhm.
Shit, I even got newspaper clippings that my dad gave me when I was 16 that he saved when Elvis passed away back in 77. So,
No, I was honored. So
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. We'd like to maybe have you on again sometime also.
definitely, and always remember and stay humble and remember where you came from. Just like my theme song in the new Linkin Park album that's coming out in November, I always wanted to be part of something, and I was part of something great. Like I said, never say never. Never know when you're going to see Scarecrow again.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
You
And
too.
We're going to bring our next guest on. The guy who was on with us last week, and we had some issues, but we're going to finish it up. We're going to bring on Cousin Cooter.
Oh,
What's up? What's up?
yeah,
How's it
sorry.
How you doing?
You still got a few more days till Halloween. Take that mask off, man.
No, I know, right?
Okay,
I
Mark.
need to do it.
We'll let you start it off, Marcus.
No. We gotta let Chris finish up because he asked that question 3 times last week and it didn't happen.
Oh, you remember what
He
the
don't
question?
know what the question
You
is.
remember what the question was?
It was what? How is wrestling
Oh,
changed from today?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah.
Okay, go,
The
Chris.
question was that kept cutting out was how has the wrestling business changed from when you first got into the business to now?
Just like Scarecrow said, there's more spots in the business than instead of actually working. There's a lot, talking about old school, go out there, work in the crowd, but there's multiple guys doing spots. They do I'm old school. I cannot remember a whole lot, so therefore, I just go out there and do it. I cannot sit there and do a 15-minute match with like 100 spots. That's you're going spot after spot after spot after spot after spot after spot, and there's no way I can remember half of what somebody would tell me by the time we get started. That's why I always tell the guys, with some of the guys, is like, what are we gonna do? I was like, just roll with it. I'll take care of you. You take care of me. We'll just roll with it and just go out there and have fun, and whatever happens, happens. So that's a lot. I ain't gonna call them spot monkeys, but it's what they are. But the thing is, they're good at what they're doing. But working the crowd is like the best part about it. If you're off from one spot to the next spot, you can be off by seconds or even half a seconds, and it can be, and the crowd might not even be into it. So therefore, I feed off the crowd. I do everything off the crowd. So I can't think what I'm going to do till I get out there.
Before we go to the next one, Kelly had a question. She wants to know who your favorite super fan is, Kelly or Marcus.
Everybody gets this question.
Oh,
I'm not doing too good, just so you know. Week.
Hey,
Marcus, I love you, but I have to
I
go
lost.
on this one.
Yeah.
She called it earlier. She says, "You'll get Crow, I'll get Coot." It's like that. She was right. So
I love ya.
I love you guys both. Seriously, I love all you guys. You guys are doing great. So
Marcus?
okay, let's get it out of the way. You know what I'm going to say. The guy from Portland's going to get mad if we don't bring up Sign Guy.
yeah.
So go ahead and tell the story to the people who don't know about Sign Guy.
All right. So let's tell the story. Well, what happened was Sign Guy took a face plant on the concrete floor at HPW. The thing is actually, we got firefighters in the ring doing this battle royal, and actually we worked with these guys hours throughout the day. But when that accident happened, I was in the battle royal and I got tossed over and you get that sick feeling that something's going to happen. So I didn't go all the way to the back because I had this feeling that something's not right. Then next thing I knew, I see them pick sign guy up. They went to toss him over, and next thing you knew, he's face planted right on the concrete floor.
Over the top rope.
Yeah, it was over the top rope. It was the loudest smack I ever heard in the business, and I just jumped over there and looked Laura, and Jerry actually asked me to, take her to the hospital, and we actually beat Sign Guy there, which was amazing in itself because we figured they would catch up with us by ambulance, but they didn't. By the time we got to the inside the room with him, he won't remember because he still thinks he's in the locker room. It's like he's laying in the emergency room, and he's like, "Hey, I need to get back out to the crowd. Get back out to the crowd." They're like, "Dude, you're not going nowhere. You're getting ready to go on a flight up to Indianapolis." And he's like, no, I have to go back to the fans. I'm like, "No, dude, you're going to go take a helicopter flight to Indianapolis because they're taking you up there." And he's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Dude, where you're at, dude, you're laying in the bed. You got IVs." And then, so it was just arguing with him because he still thinks he's in the locker room. And it was funny, but not funny because it was like, we knew how serious it was once they said that they was going to fly him up to Indianapolis because he had a blame breed that they thought at the time. But what sucked for him is actually they cut his gear in the helicopter. So that was sucked for him. But once he got up there, he broke some bones in his face. And as he would say, there's a crack on the floor at the fairgrounds. But I mean, it was like one of the scariest moments I ever seen in the business, personally. And I mean, I seen incidents where people got hurt or else the top rope broke or something like that, and they hit their head, but never that bad. You get a bump on the head or something like that. Even doing hardcore wrestling is like throughout the years, and just seeing that one instant, it was just crazy. I mean, it knocked him out. I mean, it was just, you can hear a pin drop. The fans was so quiet. You can hear a pin drop when it happened. Good. I mean, the only good thing was it was a Cherry Funds show, so the EMTs that was there, they jumped on it. They called it in as soon as it happened. But I mean, just accidents happen. And then, like I said, we went over this spot probably 20, 30 times throughout the day, and it went perfect. And it just so happened, I don't know if he kicked, because I don't remember watching it. I only watched it one time since then. It tells you how bad it was, because it was just that bad. And but I don't know if it's just he kicked his feet and somehow his foot got underneath that top rope and just went open. When they tossed him over, he just went up and down. That's it.
Did he ever wrestle again?
Oh yeah, he's wrestled. He ref. He's still out there.
Yeah, he'll show up in India about once a year. About that time, he'll be back.
What young independent wrestlers have really impressed you as of late?
Like I said, I'm going to tell you, WCWO, they have a lot. Even the new trainees they got working now, that's building themselves up to get to that, get in the ring, get some ring time. I mean, just watching them, because I was up there, Marcus, you saw me Saturday night. Them playing around with in the ring after the trunk or treat, is just watch them work. I say all the young ones, but Zay Gates, Hidari, but I want to give a shout out for somebody that's not a newbie, but that needs a lot of respect that's up there. And that is Jax Morgan.
Amen.
Yep.
And he deserves any title he gets, because he has worked his butt off in the ring and out of the ring to get what goes on up there. But like I said, Zay Gates is great. I can't remember all their names. I just remember the faces. That's what sucks about being in this business for so long. Been hit in the head too many times. but I remember more faces than names. But Zay Gates, Hidari, Melico, all of them. All these young kids that's up there right now is like really putting it on there. Then you talk about some. They're not once because they're Dalton Love still doing his thing. Savage was doing his things up north. There's a lot of young talent, and there's some young talent down south that that I got to meet and I got to watch, and they're still kicking it down there a little bit, and then it just all depends where you're at.
Yeah.
But I would say WCWO is actually putting some good talent out there.
I agree. Warren?
All right, I'll come with one I did earlier. If you could go back, I don't want to say old. I'm sorry. Present Cooter, going back to young Cooter. What advice would you give young Cooter?
Lose weight faster. Really, a young Cooter was over 300 pounds. I went from just recently, the past 5 years, I went from 325. Now I'm down to 225. When I first started, I was just something that I got into it, but I was like over 300 pounds. And actually, I got my butt kicked my first day of training because they was just seeing how my heart was going to be in it. This fat kid coming in here trying to do this business that these muscle-bound guys were doing. And I was like, Ox Harley straight up beat my ass. And it's because all I did is say, hey, tell me what we need to do. I'll listen. And the thing that kind of was making me laugh about it, he started doing Carney. And I had no idea what Carney was at that point. He beat my ass. I came back the next month and goes, I figured you'd quit. And I was like, no, I got too much heart to do. Once I get set something, I'm going to do it. And that's where I'm at.
Chris? Any questions?
You go ahead. I'll get the next row.
Okay. Let's see here. Best wrestling match you've seen live, independent and big time.
I would say what we come across last week was, I would say the best one I seen live, probably back in 1988, and what got me loving wrestling is the Red Ronnie Garvin versus Iron Sheik. And it's just because it was like I was front row, and when Red Ronnie Garvin grabbed that chair and smacked the Iron Sheik over the top of the head and busted him open, and that was just phenomenal to me. That's what got me loving in the business.
Okay, this is going to be our final questions. Marcus?
Oh, my. Well, I was going to have you explain the flaming chair, but we'll save that for another day.
Yeah. I got, me, I got stories.
We'll do the slop bucket then, because they'll be interested to hear about the slop bucket.
Vinny Machete. Oh man, that was so long ago. I can remember bits and pieces of that match. That's the sad part about it. I don't remember a whole lot, but I remember we had 4 slop buckets. I think one had water in it. One had confetti in it. We actually had one that had slop. So, I think the other one was just empty, if I remember right. It's been so long ago. We're talking about maybe 15 years ago when this happened. But I really don't even remember the end of it. That's the sad part about it. It's one of those matches. It was fun to do. I do remember that because first of all, it was Benny. That's just like Itch. I got a story about Itch too, but about the same deal because I remember dumping the slop over Benny, if I remember right. Then, but same way with Itch, we did it out in a show out in Iowa. I took a trash can and dumped it over his head, and just this stuff that came out was just so crazy. And I paid for that one too. So just like, you know, just like Vinny probably paid me for that one too. Because I just know we had like mix of foods and everything, that one little slot bucket. But I mean, that the Itch one, I deserved any little thing he gave back, because I felt as soon as I saw all the stuff just coming out of it, I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna get my butt kicked on this one.
If you was starting a wrestling promotion tomorrow, who would be the first one on the independent scene you would grab and start with?
Oh man. Well, to start, well, that's a big question. That's a lot. There's a lot of people I know. As a booker, and that's the thing, I wouldn't want to be my own champion. I wouldn't probably wrestle in my own show. If it was, it'd be just a gimmick. I'd probably ask Scarecrow for one. Try to think like JKO, because first of all, when you talk about WCWO, look how long it's been running. You go from Ron Owens, Joey's dad, then Joey, then we're looking for the future. And, after Joey's gone, you never know what Johnson can do after that. That's the thing about, if Dom was alive, that'd be a person I would talk to also. But, rest in peace, my bro. But I'd say Joey and Scarecrow would be the first two people I'll talk to.
Okay, Warren?
Now, I don't know your full span of your career, so I'm not sure if you ever have or not, but heel or face, which do you prefer more?
All right. I've been face most of my career. There was a spit like about 2.5, 3 years ago that actually turned heel. It was down in PPW, and I joined this group called Advancement. And it went over so well that my own son did not talk to me for like 2 weeks. I'm being serious. He did not say a word. If he wanted to talk to me, he talked to his mama. And his mama would have to talk to him, tell me what he wanted. Because what it was like I did this mask gimmick called the Deer Hunter, and it was down PPW, and I had wrestled Max Sterling, which Mac at that point was his favorite wrestler. And as soon as I revealed that was me, dude, he was in tears. He was mad. We're talking about a little over hour drive home. And I'm like, and usually you guys don't get, I talk to my kids every time, after every show, straight up. I would ask them what they think about the show, what they like and what they didn't like. They will be honest with me exactly. It's like, how's my match? They'd be like, yeah, it was okay, Dad, but this happened. You botched on this, or something happened on this. Like, what's your favorite match? And they tell me, then they're my critics. And for being 11 and now 14, because Damien turned 14 Saturday, they're just so wrestling knowledge, and they catch a lot of things. So, but yeah, so Dominic did not talk to me for 2 weeks at all, and it took him over about a month to actually talk to me. But then they made these shirts like for X out the Advancement. They had all of our names on her, and we would just play. They would just work with us back and forth. And it was awesome to me because I'm working my own kids. But he hated it that I turned, and we did this for like a full year. So,
okay, Chris, you got the last question.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Perks's question. Who's your favorite opponent?
Oh, well, I had quite a few. Like I said, it's just there's a lot of memories, and Scarecrow would be one because we had a lot of fun matches, and I can remember most of those matches. Like I posted earlier, the fans bringing the weapons match at HPW. We had a toilet that was brought to us, and I pulled it out of the bathroom, brought it to the ring, set in the corner, and I gave Scarecrow a swirly. Right. Then I had the plunger, which I'm sorry to bring this up, Ed, but I brought the plunger. I went back in there and got the plunger, not thinking, but
A fairground plunger.
yes.
You're lucky he didn't kill you.
And and by the time I realized I actually flipped it up and there was like still like a little water in there. You know? But yeah. But then we had one of the better matches that we had, I think it was at IPW. We had basically another fans bring the weapons match, Falls Count Anywhere. We kind of had a little issue with the Cornfield Mafia, and that was a bloody mess, but it was fun doing it. But down in Kentucky, those Kentucky people, if y'all never been down to Kentucky, those Kentucky people are crazy. I mean, I had guys, we brought fans bring the weapons down there, and this guy brought a baseball bat with 9-inch nails sticking out of it. Hey guys, we're going to use this. They're like, oh, no, we're not. I'm like, yeah, we are. I made guys down there that they want to go concession stands. I made them into a hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Ketchup, mustard. They got mad because you're here, but hey, it is what it is. But there's just so many matches. Like we're talking about the slot bucket match with Benny. I remember parts of it, but I don't remember all of it. There's guys that, I wish they were still wrestling today, and that would have been nice, like Donnie Idol. And me and Donnie, really, all the years at HBW that we were together, we only wrestled a handful of times. And I tell you what, Donnie was a great worker. Ricky Brekus, which they're all at Merge now. But then you talk about, Powers of Pain. I got to team up with them against Itch and TJ and Dice. I mean, it was phenomenal.
That would have been good.
What, the TJ Dice?
Oh man, that would have been good.
Yeah.
You didn't smile through the whole thing, did you?
No.
Because Vinny did. He smiled when he teamed with Powers of Pain. He couldn't wipe the smile off his face. But
the funniest thing about that, we was out in Iowa when we did that show, and it was like they was like, "Hey, you're going to team up with Powers of Pain." I'm like, "All right, cool." I met Barbarian back in 2005, so I knew the Barbarian. Warlord's the only one I didn't really got to know till we got out to Iowa. And he's just so huge.
Yeah, that dude's huge.
Well, yeah, his hands are like humongous. And but the Barbarian, I met him back in 2005, and it was great talking to him for a couple hours after the show. But then met him a couple more times after that with Dice. But when we went out to Iowa, then actually, hey, you're teaming up with Harrison May. I'm like, all right, cool. But I went out there and did my thing with Itch, and we had a good time. I mean, I had a good time. So it was actually, I got the pin that day after their finish on, I think it was Dice, if I remember right.
I know when we got to meet the Powers of Pain, they were real cool. Yeah, nice. They were telling us stories about Andre the Giant and all kinds of stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, and Eugene was pretty cool too. I mean, we talk about Eugene. Eugene was pretty cool. I got to meet him a few times. Ricky Morton
was cool too.
Yeah. So really, and I'm not to bust him out, but one of the craziest guys I ever met, and it was just because it was cool because he was crazy, is Superstar Bill Dundee.
I've heard that.
And he's just a big hoot in the locker room, out of the locker room. You know, I got a few stories about that, and it's like, I mean, who puts their face on their car? I asked him that one time, and he goes, "Well, when I go to Walmart, I can find out where my car's at because I can see myself." You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but Bill, I can see where Jamie gets it a little bit. So, but Jamie's pretty cool. So,
well, Cousin Cooter, thank you for being on the show with us. We greatly appreciate it.
I'm glad I got to get on for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have to do this game. Like I said, I got all kinds of stories that I remember.
We'll definitely do it again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff.
Chicken.
Or did you see the message from Called X?
Yeah, and I know we're up against time, and I did want to reply back to that. You know, Called X, if you're still on, you little annoying gnats, listen, you're sitting there talking all this stuff. I'm reading Justin Danger saying that, you know, he thinks everyone's forgot about him, and you know, he'll be back to show everyone he doesn't need anyone. You got Ricky Guns exploding in FEW on his own. Maybe you need to take care of home and family before you start coming out, because it looks like you might have a little bit of problems with inside the group there, buddies. But yeah, we'll see. Let me check.
Since you're talking about Ricky, look what he did to me at the end of that match.
Yes, but he did it without Called X, right?
So Ricky wants to get involved in a match that is very personal. I think we need to take care of that.
Yeah. Calling out Guns.
I'm all for that too.
I'm all for that as well.
In that one. And Justin, you need to leave. You know, me and you, we got some history. I always got your back, buddy. Oh, the future's calling Cousin Cooter.
Martian.
All right.
Well, thank everybody for being on, and we'll be on next Monday night. If I remember right, our special guest is Zay Gates. Also going to have Mike Lee coming on also to tell us about a big show he's got coming up next, not this coming Sunday, next Sunday, the 10th, I believe. So he'll be telling us all about that. And real quick on that, before we get out of here, if people have any clothes, anything, some of the houses that the group that they work for, that do the fundraiser for, one of their houses caught on fire, and a lot of families lost clothes, lost everything. So if you have anything, I would say you could probably get a hold of Mike Lee.
It's what you're talking about is the show on the 10th is a fundraiser for, it's a veteran show that WCWO does. Mike Lee puts it on.
Yes.
They work with HVAF, veterans helping veterans and families. That's the organization that you can, but if you want more, if you can donate and you want more information, you can contact us and I can get you with Mike or somebody at WCWO, and they can get you in the right direction.
Yeah, but they're definitely needed help before, but now even more than ever with this bad situation that happened, I guess, Sunday night.
Can I add to that?
Yep, go ahead.
Kelly was in contact with Mike today. Everyone was accounted for except 4. So there may be 4 missing people.
Yes.
That was in that fire. So
I did see that also. Definitely prayers out to them. Yep, prayers out to them, definitely. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo's Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all at Gonzo's Sports Room as well. And we'll see you guys on Monday.
Go Lions!
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.